it in 1985 and thrown away the key. Mannequins in shoulder-padded suits and neon workout gear stood stiffly in glass displays. Dusty cassette racks leaned beneath posters, promising bank holiday sales. In blocky fonts, a cardboard cutout of a smiling model advertised a Sony Walkman, while a perfume counter still displayed faded boxes of Chanel and Dior beneath cracked glass. The air he saw her, a faint, translucent figure, a young woman, maybe his own age, her hair feathered and styled in 80s fashion, high-waisted, a crop cardigan clinging to her slight frame. She smiled at him, a smile that was warm, playful, almost flirtatious. Their eyes locked, and in that instant, the world blurred. A flood of images rushed through David's mind, as if he were watching her life play out on a cinema reel. Christmas mornings in the 70s, a beach filled with laughter, a first kiss behind a schoolyard wall, afternoon shopping in the city with friends, and then the shift, her hand clutching her chest, panic in her eyes, a hospital bed, family gathered round, crying, silence, and then a detail, her hand touching her bare wrist, as if something important was missing. David staggered back, heart racing, but he didn't feel threatened. He felt sadness, longing, a strange connection, as if this girl, this ghost, had chosen him. Then he felt it. A small, icy hand slipped into his own. When he looked down, he was holding something. A gold charm bracelet, heavy, ice cold. The inscription inside was neat, cursive, a name and a date of birth. Her gift or her plea. Before he could process it, a loud crash erupted behind him. David screamed, only to find the guard laughing at his fright. David didn't laugh. He gathered his tools and left with the bracelet clutched in his hand. That night, he lay awake. The girl's face burned into his mind. The next day, he followed a memory from the vision. A circular road in Norris Green, a place he knew from childhood. And there, as if guided, he found the house. He knocked. An elderly woman answered. She had the same eyes as the girl. David couldn't speak. He simply held out the bracelet. The woman's hand flew to her mouth. She took it trembling, then kissed it and burst into tears. Inside, over tea and sobs, she told him the story. Her daughter, beautiful, bright, stubborn, had begged to borrow that very bracelet in December 1985. It was a family heirloom inscribed with her name. She had said no, but the girl had taken it anyway, leaving a note. Sorry, Mum, I just wanted to show Casey. I'll bring it back, I promise. She had also left something else behind. Her inhaler. That day, she had gone into town to buy her mum a Christmas present, the new Bryan Ferry single, Slave to Love. She wanted it wrapped and ready, but she collapsed on the 5th floor of the sBuilding, and she never came home. The mother showed David a photograph. The same girl from the mirror, smiling, brightly, alive and beautiful. David's throat burned with grief. As the old woman spoke, the room grew suddenly cold. A candle flame on the table snuffed itself out. David felt it. Then a soft, invisible hand brushing on the back of his neck. Thank you. The girl who had waited almost 40 years in that forgotten floor was finally free. And so David left that little house in Norris Green with the weight of history lifted from his shoulders and a strange sense of peace. He had gone to the Lewis's building to fix a fuse board. Instead, he helped reunite Mother with the last thing her daughter ever touched. The 5th floor is still there, sealed away like a memory. Some say the girl's presence lingers, tied forever to the scent of Coco Chanel and the echoes of Bryan Ferry drifting through the tannoy. But David knows different. He felt her hand in his. He saw her life, and he knows she isn't trapped anymore. Sometimes ghosts don't stay to terrify us. Sometimes they just want to be remembered and to go home. Join me next time for more tales of Liverpool's haunted past. I'm Mr. Strange. Good night.